Lukeville, Arizona's port of entry is officially closed, but that has not stopped the flow of migrants. CBP sources saying there were more than 12,000 migrant encounters at the southern border just yesterday. 12,000. That's the highest single-day total ever recorded. And the crisis is now coming to head with spending talks on Capitol Hill. Let's bring in Tennessee Congressman Mark Green, chairman of the House Committee on Homeland Security. Let's take that in for a second. 12,000 southern border encounters in a single day, just yesterday. Congressman, first, your reaction.
Yeah, this is incredible to see just how our southern border has collapsed. I mean, there is no southern border with the policies of this administration. The parole, instant parole, basically catch and release has created an incentive for people to come from all over the world, 160 plus countries, and they are pouring across with no way to stop it. We've got to fix policy. That's the issue.
Okay. But still, this is the president on where he stands with these border policies. He's still calling Republicans extreme on the issue. This was just a short time ago when he was speaking at the White House.
Extreme Republicans are playing chicken with our national security, holding Ukraine's funding hostage to their extreme partisan border policies. This has to be a negotiation. Republicans think they get everything they want without any bipartisan compromise. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. And now they're willing to literally kneecap Ukraine on the battlefield and damage our national security in the process.
Mitt Romney is calling out the president and the Democrats' strategy of tying the border funding to Ukraine. Romney says Dems won $106 billion. The GOP wants a closed border. That's the trade. But clueless Dems want to negotiate the border bill. Not going to happen. Is an open border more important to Dems than Ukraine and Israel? Well, isn't that an interesting question?
Yeah, it's actually the question. They're more concerned about the border between Ukraine and Russia than they are our United States border and the safety of Americans. Because, look, they have an intent here. Their intent is to fundamentally change the electorate in this country. There's no denying it. There's no other reason why they would tolerate hundreds of thousands of dead Americans to fentanyl, billions of dollars going to drug cartels, and 24,000 Chinese nationals, military-age people coming into the United States. This is insane. It's absolutely insane.
Okay, well, a lot of this falls in the lap of Mayorkas, obviously, the DHS secretary. He went on television this morning, and he shared his thoughts on why he opposes the Republican proposals on the border wall. Listen.
We've presented proposals that address the situation, that provide real practical solutions, and also do not do violence to our fundamental values. We are a country of refuge. Some of the proposals are reasonable and worthy of discussion. Others are frankly not.
It almost like it's like a disconnect from the reality of the situation. Let me remind everyone the news we came into you with 12,000 just yesterday alone, 12,000 southern border encounters in a single day yesterday. The reality is certainly being felt and shared by Yuma Sector Border Patrol Chief Chris Clem on Biden's border strategy. Listen here.
At first, we thought it was incompetence. They just didn't know what they were doing. But the fact that we were into year 3 and it's been, something that was told by us or to us that this was unsustainable, well, they figured out a way to sustain this. So it's got to be deliberate. I'm glad that lawmakers are getting together to do something about issues impacting Washington, D.C. When are they going to get together and hold each other accountable to do something right here on the border? Because these border states are having to deal with this every day.
They're coming over illegally. Let me go back to finish with the most basic question of all. Is there absolutely no recourse for not following the rules and the laws on the books in this country, Congressman? I mean, how bad does this have to get before we go back to the basics here?
Sandra, there is no end to how bad it can get before Biden and Mayorkas will do anything, because they're executing a very intense plan to, like I said, fundamentally change the electorate in the country. That's their objective. So everything they're doing is for that. Even the funding, you had the clip there from Mayorkas. He wants more money to process more people into the country. He doesn't care about the policies that will actually reverse the incentives. That's what we want. We want the law followed. And yes, we plan to hold Mr. Mayorkas accountable for this dereliction of duty, dishonesty, refusing to follow his oath to the Constitution, and a lot more. It's coming.
And to finish where we started with President Biden just a few minutes ago at the White House, calling out Republicans for what he labeled their extreme partisan border policies. And that is where things stand today. Congressman, appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thanks.
John.
Thanks, Andrew.